On the physical side, I have to say I'm a little bit angry at you all, at many of you. This is an extraordinary collection of historic resources. This is the districts that I work in 100 towns a year. And I've been doing it for 25 years, so that's 2,000 towns, literally, and now probably 400 internationally. You have no recognition of the extraordinary quality of what you have right now in Pioneer Square. And it's one of the great historic commercial districts in America. And I have to tell you, and it was none of you in this room, but somebody whom I talked to over the phone. And this person said this, you know, if we really do it right in Pioneer Square, we could be one of the great commercial districts in the state of Washington. What a low target of accomplishment. I'm telling you, as it sits now, it's one of the great commercial districts, historic commercial districts in America. And somebody says our threshold of success is being one of the best ones. I got to tell you, you got to get out of town more and see what this place is like. I know that the city for a long time has had a national reputation, and I know it's going to be even more so with the new administration here. This real push for what quality cities are about. This whole issue of transit-oriented development, mixed-use neighborhoods, walkable commercial districts, this whole range of things that we finally learned make good communities. Don't be looking someplace else. Pioneer Square is the model. That is that. There's all these other, the new urbanism, the TOD people, what they're modeling, what they think ought to be, is exactly what Pioneer Square is. And it should not be, it's not like you don't have to invent it, you don't have to build it, it's sitting right there if it's worth doing. Density should be increased. Again, I try not to overstep the level of the information base I have. And probably if I had a month assignment here, I'd be willing to step up and say, yeah, the proposal now is enough, or it should be a little more, or that's a little too much. And I don't feel competent to say that. What I do know is that density ought to be increased. This can be a dense place. But density should not be an end in itself. It should always be density in human scale. And you shouldn't diminish the quality of what you have with excess density. Now, whether I don't think that what's being proposed now is excess density. Could there be a little more? Maybe. And so I have no hard position, but there needs to be more density. I'm a real estate guy. I've been in real estate my entire career. I'm a big believer in property rights. But I do not believe that property rights gives you the right to steal value from neighbors' properties. And when you leave properties purposely vacant, when you leave properties for demolition by neglect, when you don't maintain properties, forget what's happened to your property, it is stealing money from your neighbors, and I don't think you have a right to do that. That does not, property rights do not stand to that side. Challenges, having said that, these are real tough economic times. And for the first time in my career, and I started in real estate when I got out of college in 1971. And over that time, there's probably been 4 real downturns in the real estate market. This is the first time ever that I've seen it that credit worthiness and experience has nothing to do with the ability to get a loan. Nothing to do with it. It's just nothing. There isn't any. And so the trouble with in times like these to say, well, you got to fix up your building. Where are you going to get the money to do that? That's a real legitimate issue. I also think that particularly, it's probably true of all neighborhoods, but particularly in a place like Pioneer Square, the peripheral decision makers that aren't part of Pioneer Square, but whose decisions will affect Pioneer Square in a place like this really need to take the context and the concerns of Pioneer Square into their as a priority in their larger decision-making process. Like the state DOT, like the transportation planners, like a whole range of people, they should not be focused on their little thing. They should be saying, what is my project going to do to positively or negatively affect Pioneer Square, and adjust when necessary those impacts. Again, I think it's perfectly appropriate to change land use, zoning requirements, to increase density, to meet these other kind of urban goals, as long as that fundamental character of the neighborhood is not changed. And I think when we look further ahead, we have to figure out a way to kind of equitably distribute the cost burdens of maintaining public space. And it's one of those things that everybody says it's somebody else's responsibility. Oh, yeah, that's the city supposed to take care of that. Oh, no, that's the building owner supposed to do it. No, my tenants, but well, you know what? figure out how to do it, because that maintenance of public space is a major issue.